I mean, if you looked at Patrick Toney, how he broke down film too, I mean, I liked it as well. I mean, when I was watching him break down film and do all of the concepts and all the nonsense that he was doing on video, uh, I liked what I saw. I still like what I see from Armstrong as well. But you talked to a lot of these players, and I interviewed them, and they talked about how difficult Grantham's scheme was. And then when Patrick Toney came in here, it was a lot more simpler. And I mean, we had this discussion before the show, Shelton, and I said, well, was it really a product of guys just not being bought in on the defense? I mean, was it that, or was it maybe just Patrick Toney's defensive scheme doesn't work in the SEC? We won't know because we don't get to see year 2 or 3. We don't get to see his players play, in his defensive scheme. But overall, I mean, you've got even I've seen so many websites say, well, it's an upgrade from DC. So it makes me excited. The more I looked up about him and the more that I learned about him, and he's worked at Louisiana Lafayette as well, so they have familiarity. Billy,
It feels like
Billy
when
has
Billy got
familiarity
hired.
with him too.
You remember
Yeah.
when Napier got hired, everyone was like, what? And then like the hype slowly started building once you started doing some more digging and you talked and you heard people talk about him and interview him, like, wow, we kind of got like ourselves a little bit of a gym. Honestly, it's like Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz gets picked up. We're all like, what the hell is this? And then we're like, all right, well, we got to get down. We got to get nitty gritty with it. We got to start figuring out what's going on. And then we start digging into it. It's like, hey, well, I have a Heisman on our hands. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like we dig it up a little bit. It's like, look, it's not as bad as maybe we as Gator fans are assuming because it's not the big splash hire that everybody wants. Everybody loves a big name. But sometimes the big name isn't always ideal. I think, look, I trust in Billy. And I will preach this until it's not true. And so I believe in that he went with who he felt is the best person for the job. And I'm excited for Mr. Armstrong for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not going to beat around the bush about a hire. If I don't like it, I'll say I don't like it, and if I do like it, I will. I do like this hire. Now on Twitter, I'll say something different because, of course, the Twitter trolls out there. I'll just, just joke with them because I like to mess with them and all that. But, as far as like just getting my personal opinion on it, I do love the hire, and I think he's going to make the defense better. Hopefully, it looks kind of like he runs 39% of the time he blitzes. I looked at some stat
I
earlier
love some
today.
pressure.
I've lost it. Yeah, I'll have to do more research on Austin Armstrong, but man, I do like what a lot of people are saying about him. Yeah,
let's watch him break this down real quick, though.
Okay. So, boom. All right. We told you this. I just said this, right? The edge player to the back and the opposite linebacker have this guy man to man. If he flares this way, he has him, and I cover him up. If he bullets or goes out this way, I just take him, and we just run the pressure. Here's a great clip to teach off of. This is something we do after the first day. All we do is do issues with the back. Once people figure out how we play, that's fine. There's a lot of good coaches out there, right? We create the issues for our players to work through, okay? So right here, they bullet the back. They motion him out. The wheel takes him. 13, he's away from the back. He's the low hole player for the down. Boom. We get here, affect the guy, right? Make an errant throw. Then again, right? Really good job by here. We're taking him.
Is that trash?
Boom, gave technique.
Yeah,
he does a good job of occupying the guard. To here, the center goes away because he sees this rush here. We come back here, affect him, get a shot on the quarterback. All right? Again, a couple of them for North Carolina. We got a tremendous amount of respect for them. Again, rush peel. We're reading the back. If the back flares, I'm C gap. If he steps up, I'm in the B gap. Really good job, right?
All right, so that's that, and then we're gonna have this quick interview here, which is absolute gold. That's not what I wanted.
There you go. Can't hear anything, Shelton.
Oh, you can't? All right, hold on. There you go.
All right,
There you
Coach, give
go.
me your thoughts on your scrimmage today.
Obviously we got to watch the tape. It was a long deal. Like I was just saying, it's hard to call scrimmage. They have so much volume. You're getting prepared for it. You got to pare down your calls, and allow your players.
All I wanted to show this for was for two things. One, it's great. It's great to put a face with the voice. Okay, it's gonna be great out here in Florida. Okay, we're gonna hit the lines hard. All right, we're gonna get down to practice every single day. We're gonna give it 110%. Okay, if there ain't blood on the jersey, they ain't work hard enough today. Okay, number two, and the most thing I'm excited for this entire season next year is I best see a nasty-ass Florida Gator visor on the sideline. I want a classic one just like this that he can get to throw around at somebody, that he gets to get wild with it, okay? This is the Kirby Smart-isk that we're talking about. So now we've got a little Nick Saban-isk and Billy coming in at head coach, and then we're bringing in a little mini Kirby, baby Kirby, into the DC, 29 years old, fresh out the womb. Son, tickle me pink and turn me up, baby, okay? I'm fired up.
Done.
Look, there's something to be said. And hear me out for a quick second. I know this is going to go 50-50 down the middle here, okay? This is what I want to speak to, too. I mentioned about what separates defensive coordinators. Again, scheme, there's a little bit of scheme, but a lot of it comes down to who they are as a person, how they can recruit, and how they can translate what they're trying to say, right? Again, something you said with Grantham, it could have been too complex, wasn't able to, sure, maybe he had a big brain, right? He could think of great schemes, but if you can't translate it onto the field and you can't have it to where your players can understand it, is it just bad or is it too complex and nobody has enough time to get a hold of it? Either way, it failed, right? That's nobody really cares what it is. If it doesn't have success, you're considered a failure. Hear me out when I say this.
To go play. This is an evaluation. This is not go out here and see who can pencil whip each other.
We ain't here to see who can pencil whip each other.
Whip.
The tonality. Listen to me really quick, okay? The tonality. For somebody, again, we are in sales. We have a guy in our sales department right now who has a British accent. When we interviewed him, we asked, what do you makes you think you're so successful at sales? He goes, it's the accent. And it is known that the British accent, it translates very well over here in America, that we eat it up. It doesn't really matter what they're saying. I bought 9 resolutions from this guy. He sits right across from me. I don't even need it. But because it's just listening to him, right, you buy into what they're saying. So this is, again, it's a small nuance. I'm not saying that this guy's country voice and drawl is why he's going to be a great defensive coordinator. That's not what I'm getting at all. But these are the things that I like. These are small little just things that I like to see in a head coach or a defensive coordinator because, look, when they're up there talking, you're going to be bought into what they're saying. They're able to just draw you in with the voice, okay? Talk about it. We're going to pencil with one another today. You're going to cover the B gap if you do this. If he bubbles out to the right, you're going to cover up the C gap, okay? You hearing me? And look, I know people are gonna give me a lot of shit for it, but I'm telling you, it's gonna make a little bit of a difference, and I'm fired up about it for sure. I'm fired up. I love it. If that doesn't get a like, the country accent doesn't get a like, I don't know what will anymore. Okay, because I'm out here just pulling out all my whippersnappers. Okay.
Yeah, take me to Waffle House, man. That accent's like, hey, Waffle House. You roll up, you get on that menu, you get that all-star special, all that stuff.
You're from Georgia. You know what it's all about. We do need a great one-liner. Do I need to click pencil whipper until we can get some zingers out of Coach Armstrong? Because he's going to have a few of them in there that are just going to fire me up in the season. I promise you, what I'm ready for, what I need me some right now is I need me some interviews from old Coach Armstrong come pre-halftime, okay? Don't go to Coach Billy. I know we're going to get the same boring-ass response from Coach Billy. Take me to Coach Armstrong. I want the visor going up and down. I want the hair floating. How you feeling, Coach Armstrong? We weren't getting to where we need to get fast enough, okay? We got to come out with aggression. We're going to be fired up when we get into the locker room. That's what I want to see. I want clips from Coach Armstrong going into next season. I got enough of Billy, okay?
Do you think we get like those coaches clips from like Kirby Smart when he's in there at halftime and he's saying the F word like 1,000 times?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we need. Look, and I've criticized Billy and being a basic Billy at times, right, where he keeps it very vanilla. Maybe this is the spice that we needed. Maybe he's adding a little bit of a flair.